Super excited to see where this goes. Hopefully we get some lore drops. The hall was chill with a tense air, and those present all sat in complete silence. Then there was Jia Yuan-chun, with her lips slightly curled into a mirthless sneer. Break her knees, do it. And at the center of it all sat Jia Shi-chun, unsure of what to say next. Well, everyone. Jia Yuan-chun, seated next to the hierarch seat upon which Shi-chun sat, smoothly takes control of the situation and begins the assembly. Honored heads of the houses, lords of each family, their proxies, members, and... She nods lightly, acknowledging our awkward presence. And little Shi-chun's guests, who stay here at our H-Corp, seems to be extending without a foreseeable end. Isn't she technically from Q-Corp? What's with her acting like she's any less of an outsider than we are? Yeah, and did everyone catch that? Our H-Corp. Regardless of everything else, the fact that she hijacked the meeting from the get-go is ridiculous, especially with Jia Shi-chun, the family hierarch herself, presiding over this official assembly. Clearly, she is using the pretense of assisting the hierarch to assert her own dominance over these proceedings. As we are all aware, venerable former Jiamu has always discussed with and confided in me about the matters of the greatest import, the momentous of which steered the very course of H-Corp's prospects. Even after I departed the family for Q-Corp, venerable former Jiamu has always written missives to confer such matters with me. Something about it smells suspicious, but we'd already missed the window to challenge her to present us with proof without breaking decorum. Thus, as it naturally follows that I would be the inheritor of the venerable Jiamu's will, I shall be presiding over this regular assembly, which we convene now to discuss and determine the future of H-Corp. What a grandiose and self-important introduction. It seemed clear to me that she considered herself to be the main character of the scene or something. Your great certainly befits your station, Lady Yuan-chun. We are all impressed by your utmost dedication to the citizenry of Hongyuan, despite your already saturated schedule. We can hardly thank you enough for your magnanimity, Lady Yuan-chun. Alright. By the end of this, can we, remove her bones? My parents, a true shame they couldn't be here, having always sung praises of your expertise, Lady Yuan-chun. And he's like, nope, absolutely not. Responses from the participants are just as protracted, only obsequious instead of arrogant. As heads of some of those houses were under investigation for consorting with the forces foreign to Hongyuan. Their vacuum was filled by their children's generation, many of whom we had the pleasure of meeting during the family hierarch war. Very well, then shall we welcome Jia Shi-chun, the next person to sit upon the seat of Hongyuan's family hierarch. Greetings, I am. Now, let us begin. For many years, all those who have gathered here have toiled day and night for eternal prosperity and growth of H-Corp. Put her in her place, do it. Jia Shi-chun's expression immediately sours at Yuan-chun's unceremoniously cuts her off her self-introduction. First on the agenda of this assembly are urgent discussions and passage of the new major policy items that have been tabled for far too long. Distributive contribution rights auctioning policy, quarterly amnesty policy. Hold on, Big Sister Yuan-chun. Passing the distribution contribution rights auctioning policy would allow the open auction for any remaining rooms the day before reconstruction days, and the quarterly amnesty wouldn't do anything but give unfair advantage to certain families and high net worth individuals by guaranteeing them the large real estate assignments regardless of their performance in the previous quarter. Jia Shi-chun stutters a little, flustered before continuing. My point is, these policies are going to rattle H-Corp's economy the moment they go into effect. Besides, these policies were pretty much drawn to favor lining the pockets of a select few families and high-ranking officials of H-Corp. Ahem, if I may. Venerable Hierarch, lining the pockets, that is quite an odd turn of phrase, to refer to the bare minimum of respect the society might repay to its highest contributing members, don't you think? Contributing, there we are. Oh, before we continue, Shi-chun, I'm not entirely certain if you are aware, but ever since the ascension of the new family hierarch, the perceived value of Hongyuan has been racing to for lack of a better word, rock bottom. Clearly, this demonstrates Hong Yuan's concern and its lack of faith in the newly appointed family hierarchy. Therefore, it naturally follows that our most urgent task at hand is to put a stop to this value and reputation free fall and restore prosperity and greatness to Hong Yuan once again. Yeah, okay, and that's the family hierarch's job, right? Why are you? If you had perused H Corp's articles of association, you would have known that should H Corp be deemed to be in a state of crisis, the four great houses and the board of directors' voice may also carry de facto power in the assembly. And the board of directors, that's us, has determined that we are now in a state of crisis. State of crisis? What crisis? Everything that led to my ascension to the family hierarchy was legitimate down to the final approval. These unseemly rumors and slander are tanking our value, which we have built up assiduously through years upon years of toil. So what is this if not a state of crisis? And who wouldn't doubt the new family hierarch's qualities when this decline has coincided precisely with her ascension? Jia Yuanchun was somehow turning the room against Chi-Chun without presenting a single shred of evidence, portraying her as some burdensome hierarch who was single-handedly taking H Corp's value. No one in the assembly, not a single representative from any of the families present, stepped up to point out how Jia Shi-chun's swift actions were what finally repelled the outside forces that had marched right up to Hong Yuan's front yard. Or how she deftly maneuvered her forces to quell the embers of war by quickly taking control of the chaos within Dongyuan. She hadn't shown any glaring signs of incompetence since her ascension despite her relative inexperience, but everyone in Hong Yuan's board of directors, the heads of each family, averted their eyes, as though all of that had somehow inconceivably slipped their minds. So you take yourself to be a qualified individual for that responsibility, Shi-chun. Very well, then proceed. We are all waiting for you to begin your briefing before the assembly regarding that last 30 years quarterly net revenue records for Hong Yuan singularity-related businesses, your calculations on next year's official debt forecast, and the exact recipe and variation numbers for the boluses that have been registered in the last 5 years. That's The venerable hierarch has not received that data prior to the meeting. You must all be aware of the chaos that followed the ascension. We are still indexing all available materials too. Isn't that funny? Not once in the history of Hong Yuan has the family hierarch ever failed to provide immediate and detailed answers regarding Hong Yuan's historical statistics. Yuanchun must have known all along too. She must have known how the previous family hierarchs were all directly supplied with an immense repository of information through the Jianghuang worm or something of the equivalent. And she's using it to target Shi-chun's weakness. Knowing asking questions she, the first family hierarch without the Ananama worm, couldn't possibly answer. The responsibility ties to the venerable seat of the hierarch, Jiamu, are matched only by the great power bestowed upon it. Thus, how are you to leave matters to the wing to somebody who is so evidently unprepared for the task? Given the present circumstances, our hands may be forced to call to a vote the motion of no confidence. The motion of no confidence. A motion of no confidence, when passed by the high-ranking political officials, can result in a removal of the chief executive from office. So they're going after Shi-chun's power. So this is the picture Jia Yuanchun wanted to paint. Impotent family hierarch stammering and stumbling through her first meeting to the total and near unanimous lack of support from the H Corp board of directors. Whatever jargon they're on about, seems to me they've got not an ounce of respect for the Lazarus. Never trust twats overly obsessed with numbers and optimizations. They'll be the first ones to kick you out the moment they no longer see you as useful. You're not the only one who's pissed off, so can you please stop shaking your leg for a second? Don't need to make our frustration any more obvious, you know? My arse would have left the chair long ago if it weren't for this class. In H Corp, should the board of directors unanimously vote in favor of the motion, certain parts of the family hierarch's powers will be removed. It is entirely possible that she will become a hierarch in name only. Oh, so they're threatening to fire her unless she falls in line. This is some needlessly convoluted way to. The assembly will now consider the motion of no confidence. Are there any objections to bring the motion of no confidence against family hierarch Jia Shi-chun to the floor? Hold on, the vote of no confidence isn't an item you can evoke so lightly. The Shi family has no objections. Let's say the Wang family has no objections either. Zhui family too. The rest of the previous family heads seems to have changed precisely nothing. Those in power wore more youthful faces, but their tongues still carried the same old resistance to change. The new heads were just as uncooperative as ever, and everyone seems to be solely interested in staying in Yuan Chun's good graces. New faces, same old. And needless to say, Heathcliff wasn't the only sinner fuming with rage. It is far too vexing to simply watch and do not. Right, I knew you wouldn't let this slide, dog, Quixote. You're walking all over Shi Chun like she's not even here. Forsooth, we can't let such injustice transpire unabated. Hey, it seems like we're both on the same page. That's it, I'm not gonna hesitate to make myself heard again. This time I want to be courageous with your help, Don Quixote. Come on, let's do this together, okay? Very well, I am in agreement. Yeah, then let's go on 3 at the same time. If there are no objections, 1, 2, oh, she's gonna leave him in the dust. The Assembly will put this resolution to vote in a month and 3. Here I objection. Bloody hell, oi, have you gone mental? Sinclair stood tall at the center of the room's undivided astonishment, alone. Don Quixote, still firmly in her seat, gazed upon Sinclair's proud stand and rubbed her nose. I love Don Quixote. She looks so smug here. Young Sinclair, thou hast evolved indeed. What an unmitigated pursuer of justice. Thou hast become with such unrelenting fervor and utter disregard for decorum. Certainly mine efforts have finally borne fruit. Wait, what the hell? Did Don Quixote or Heathcliff suddenly rub off on you or something? No, wait, no. What happened there? Don Quixote, we were going to... What happened to the objecting together? Oh, I had taken thy suggestion to mean that we must voice our dissatisfaction through the official channels, borrowing the titles of the illustrious Red Gaze and the Department of LCC. Disputes and succession of power on such a high level of government are hardly ever resolved with rash grandstanding. Wouldst thou not agree? Well... You've been scammed, buddy. Why are you normal all of a sudden? Lad, what just happened? What happened to the clammy, meek boy? Well, that's... I guess I just assumed that this is how Limbus Company rolls now. There seems to have been an unexpected outburst from Shi Chun's guest. Withdraw your objection and we will consider this momentary loss of control and not enter it as an official statement. Sinclair's eyes were shaking like someone with his life on the line. If not, I take it that you have full confidence in her abilities. So please, I encourage you to elaborate. When and how will Shi Chun demonstrate her aptitude for the responsibilities of the family hierarchy? His voice continues to shrivel into a corner. He can't, and how could anyone when we all had a very clear view of her path to ascension? During the family hierarchy evaluation, Jia Bayu donated the coins he received from the Jia Chu to you. Essentially, you pity-partied your way to victory. Pity-partied. And for your ascension, Jia Chu and those outsiders from an upstart company had to almost literally carry you to the seat. Has there ever been a single victory attained by your own hands in that entire process? But have we not all been witnesses to the quality she exhibited during the family hierarchy evaluation and her own ascension? You must have no shame, snaking your forked tongue in the audience of both heaven and earth like an unwitting buffoon. That's when quiet, even footsteps broke through Jia Yuanchun's merciless dismantling of Jia Shishun. Yet I see the point. The hierarch with her grace needs only demonstrate her already established qualifications before all. This is no place for an outsider to speak. But proceed. Just how will she prove herself before us? What an odd statement coming from a fellow outsider who's been chattering for minutes on end. Forgive me, I could only presume from your verbose verbosity that the right to speak in this forum was open to all outsiders. Yeah, tell her. You're no longer a part of H Corp. You're part of Q Corp. Get your face out of here, stupid. You have said it yourself. No, the vote on the no confidence resolution will proceed in a month. That seems to give the venerable hierarch a month to regain the trust of each family. But it is rather clear to me that there are many who find their own defeat in the family hierarch war difficult to accept. Such doubt is easily resolved. A match between clans should lay out the results quite obviously. Very well, a fair challenge between clans, which would preclude the participation of the family hierarchs, Heisho Pax, and the Jia Land Guards. So you would remove her Pao and Ju before the game even begins? Why not make this test a series of sparring matches in both academia and martial arts, if such is the case? Ha! Yeah, what audacity! Do you truly have that much faith in Jia Shishun's abilities? You must know the consequences of failing these matches, no? It would be a unanimous, one-sided end to the vote of no confidence, and naturally any and all rights appertaining to the family hierarch shall be transferred to the board of directors. That is fine by us. You are free to choose any champion who you see fit. Unfortunately, your underlings don't seem to share your inflated confidence. But in the midst of the confused, flabbergasted silence from the other sinners, a clear, carefree, yet defiant voice rings out. Honglu's retort. That's not true at all, big sister Yuan Chun. We actually have just as much confidence in Shi Chun as she does. His wide eyes stared directly and unblinkingly into Jia Yuan Chun's. It occurred to me that this might be his way of expressing anger. Heck yeah, Honglu character development. Impudent child, how dare he stare me down like that? Then you are welcome to try. 1 month, you have but 1 month to prove before all an audience that she is indeed fit to be the family hierarch. Should you fail, the vote may as well be a mere formality. In other words, should she succeed, should she successfully prove herself, none of you shall again rightly challenge the independent rights and powers bestowed upon the family hierarch. The consequences of such recalcitrance would be no different from those that the traitors are facing. Wouldn't you agree? Well then, we will excuse ourselves now. Wait, I'm... Zigong turns around towards us with that same mysterious smile and slowly directs us outside the assembly hall. We may call them sparring matches, but you must know that each and every one of them is a test to prove your claim to the seat of the family hierarch. A month is a time far too brief for drastic improvement, regardless of whom it may be. Learning from a proper master for 10 months straight might teach you a few things, but who knows how long the search for one such master might take, to mention the official channels through which you must bring them past Dongyuan's walls, which may take up to 2 months. Why not relent now and relinquish but a part of your powers as the family hierarch to the board of directors? Ah, bold of you to assume that we have Faust in her freaking, hive mind thing. It seems that this fellow's outsider's mental faculties are impressively lacking. My lord has spoken in the past that when in the presence of 3 people, at least one of them is bound to be a teacher of mine. And here they are, aren't they? Jia Shi-Chu's masters carrying something new to teach her. All 13 of them. Zigong gestured confidently towards the flabbergasted sinners, and the assembly came to an end. We were planning to train Jia Shi-Chun anyway, but it seems like we are now under an unexpected deadline. Hey, when you said the LCB was going to help me out, did you guys mean that you were going to publicly humiliate the crap out of me at the assembly? Aha, of course not, Shi-Chun. Big sister Yuan Chun is an old snake. You've just given her 30 days to set the perfect stage for my downfall, to prove to the world, once and for all, that I'm not qualified at all to be the family hierarch. But Shi-Chun, were you always so good at humbling anyone who dared underestimate you? Not so much anymore. Back then, like an idiot, I thought I just had to hold on with everything I had. I thought that's all I ever had to do, but now, things are different. It's true that I'm vastly underqualified to be the family hierarch, and she's right, I pretty much lucked into this position. Chi-Chun, don't tell me that woman's bullshit actually got to you. Well, she wasn't completely wrong, right? I'm just some kid who happened to be just good enough to survive some traps and ambushes. I'm afraid that responsibility of a family hierarch might be too much. Her self-confidence has significantly decreased compared to the observation from our previous interaction. The heck, Shichun? I don't remember you being this kind of character. What happened to the girl who looked down on us the moment we met, yet even had the audacity to pretend to not know who we were, don't ya? Where'd all that confidence go, girl? That actually got under her skin back then, huh? So, Shichun, what do you want to do? Are you sure you're okay with this? Are you okay with letting this happen? If I let it happen, Big Sister Yuan Chun's going to continue expanding her influence here. I'm sure she and the board of directors have been cozying up to each other for a long time. Is the implication that her testaments on her influence were true? Yep, it's true. Before she left for Q Corp, Big Sister Yuan Chun used to always accompany GMU to these assemblies. If we just let them hold the vote of no confidence, they're going to unanimously vote against me and slowly reduce the family hierarch scope of power, and who knows, they might even call for a re-evaluation, however unlikely that sounds. Besides, Big Sister Yuan Chun, I think her definition of Hong Yuan's prosperity might be different from mine. What she's looking for isn't H Corp's prosperity, it's Dong Yuan's. And I know it all has something to do with his ties to Q Corp, which I bet has already been going on for a while just under my radar. I'm sure they've already had plenty of talks behind my back. Which is not the kind of vision you have for Hong Yuan's future, right? And that's why you spoke up against her. My vision for Hong Yuan is, I want to change H Corp to be the kind of place where people can live without fear. I just never imagined I'd have to prove myself like this, and in only 30 days. Even then, your vision hasn't changed, right? It hasn't. Great. So it's decided then, huh? We just need Fao to deliver the bad news to Sod. Dude, Faust has all that info. She could go crazy as a teacher. So to summarize, the responsibility of oh my gosh, I'm stuttering. The responsibility of training Chi-Chun to win these matches, these amorphous tests upon which hinges the family hierarch's fate, and almost every facet of which is entirely under Jia Yuanchun's control. By the way, and is probably a trap within the next 30 days is our... And we have to explain that to Sog. Haha, wow, that sounds like a lot of work when you put it like that. Post-mortem reports have become quite rote. Sometime later. Ridley, thou must impress upon the illustrious Red Gaze that 'twasn't mine idea this time. Sinclair stared blankly at Don Quixote as she made her desperate pleas towards Sod. Yes, and I understand that well. For the 8th time. As always, Sod was wearing the same refreshingly incomprehensible smile. The kind of smile that makes people increasingly anxious the longer it lasts. Well, that gives us about 30 days, during which those sparring matches, tests, whatever, will be happening as well. Great, let's give it our best. Sinclair mutters in a near whisper, clearly feeling responsible for what happened. Yes, I understand. I never should have stepped out of line like that, but something just... Yeah, so let's give it our best. I totally agree. We messed everything up again, and what? Limbus Company was always going to remain here and assist Miss Jia Shishun accumulatize herself to the responsibilities of the family hierarchy. It was always part of our plan. Well, I'm sure I'm glad that I took Faust's advice about how meticulous planning is completely pointless when it comes to LCB's missions. I would have never had to submit 9 separate disciplinary incident reports back during the J-Corp incident had I known. I believe I should be able to explain this further. Prior to his departure, my lord was concerned that such a thing would come to pass. That is why he has left Zilu and I here to look after the new family hierarch's position, which must still be on rather thin ice. Oh, so that's what they were privately talking about when he pulled them aside. Doing nothing and allowing her wicked machinations to progress would have irrevocably made the entire board of directors not but putty in Yuan Chun's hands. And that would have led that snake to de facto assume the seat of the family hierarchy. Against such an insidious foe who wields intrigue as her weapon, the most viable strategy is the most direct one. You challenge her head on. Besides, has this not given you the excuse you needed to prolong your company's stay in Dongyuan? This is also a prime opportunity for Jia Shishun to further solidify her influence here. Depending on the outcome of the vote of no confidence, they have played right into our hands by accepting this deal. So, I don't want to rain on everyone's parade, but are we not even going to consider what might happen if we fail? No, we are not, because you will not fail. Not with us aiding your efforts. Also, were you serious back then when you said that we were going to teach Jia Shichun, all 12 of us? I won't object to selecting only a few of us with better aptitude to be educators. By the way, we have already established internal hierarchy based on the sum of each of our abilities. Of course, the results were entirely to my satisfaction due to an unexpected incident. Don Quixote being the strongest. But, I don't think this was ever agreed upon. Miss Otis, that is a statement mirrored in narrow vision rife with factual refractions. I am the stance that the qualities of a good teacher are defined not by such statistics. So you must be the one who placed last in that scale. Just got him with that. Unprovoked. Just don't say anything, bud. That's not to stand out like a sore thumb. I may have overreacted then. My lord has said that from the virtuous we may learn to replicate their merits. From the flawed we may learn to avoid their failings. As long as the student is willing to learn, anything can be a teacher. I also, to embrace this teaching, seek from those who we come across. Just what in the heavens are you doing? I'm preparing a lesson plan for young Shiachun of our family hierarchy. Wow, you sure got on that fast. So what are these yellow wormy things here? 'Tis a star twinkling in its radiance. According to the schedule you have prepared, the student would have -3 hours available for sleep. This lessons plan's execution would require cooperation from T4. Yeah, 'twould be a mistake most fatal indeed. I shall correct it post-haste. The silence is immense. The gong was staring at Don Quixote's expression of her wild artistic merit upon the curriculum with her usual crescent moon eyes. Wait, is that supposed to be Zigong's grimace? Of course, each to their own, I suppose. I need not be shaken by every little thing until we have their actual lesson plans in hand. And thanks for putting your faith in us, Zigong. We barely had any of that to go around ourselves. So I understand it couldn't have been easy. You could say that I have learned my lesson. The recent events have taught me that the path of learning is truly one without end. I see that you all individually worked on your lesson plans as per Zigong's request. I have received a total of 12 lesson plans. Oh my gosh! She looks so pretty! Hold on, shouldn't there be 13 of them? Even the executive manager has decided to spare their precious time to teach a class. Yeah, I handed in my lesson plan too. That is because, so who didn't do their homework? After a brief silence, everyone turned around and looked at one of the seniors. It ain't me. Oh, please, at least try to make a compelling argument. Who else other than you could it possibly? It's me. You think you've been acting out of character a lot recently. What's going on? Well, that's, Sinclair was drenched in sweat for some reason. Actually, in Sinclair's seat was a large stack of papers, each filled to the brim with writing. Sinclair, are these papers? Phew, I'm done. Sorry, I got too into making a lesson plan that I just couldn't stop myself from writing. Phew. Sinclair couldn't have appeared more proud as he placed that big bundle of sweat-soaked papers in Zilu's hands. Is she disappointed? And she receives it with mild trepidation. You seem to have dedicated quite the momentous effort in drawing up this lesson plan. What's up with her? Let's start reviewing from the first of the stack. 108 Analytical Approaches to the Athletes... I don't know how to say that. AAA. What does AAA mean, and how do you plan to explore all 108 approaches in a month? Appreciation of artistry and assassination. Oh. F you went too far. Alright, sorry. Flip a page and continue reading for those 108 approaches. What paint did you use? It's quite vicious and the paper has partially melted. Lady, watch yourself. You almost got this some moment. Oh wait, no, that is Ryoshi's. I figured she was starting with some players. Never mind, this is Ryoshi's first. Never mind. Aha, painting. She's been traumatized. Zilu, entrails coating the world. Oh my gosh. I'm really liking Zilu's little thing right here. She's great. Heh. That's not something to be proud of, Ryoshi. Now you know how aesthetics appreciate the artistry of slaughter. Just what the hell did you paint in that paper? Hey, get it together. Zilu stumbled briefly. Whatever was on that paper must have given her quite the shock. My mind wandered for a moment. This is too dangerous to be used for a lesson. Thus it goes to the discard pile. Weak sauce. Man. Ryoshi is definitely one of my favorite characters. Zilu crumpled up the paper without hesitation and tossed it out of sight. Next, Intro to Societal Reintegration. Impressive title. Chapter 1. How to shake hands with your left hand when the situation calls for. Chapter 2. Exploration of the exclusively long-sleeve fashion and practices. Gregor. This is bad. Chapter 3. Projecting confidence and why having a bug arm is totally cool. That's you know how it is. Be proud of who you are, all that philosophy stuff. I want this lesson to give a bit of paradigm shift where we can all come to see our flaws, not as failings, but as evidence of our individuality. Gregor, you're just kind of projecting there. Sorry, bud. Which will usher in a world where we can carry on with our lives, no matter what kind of arm we have. Discard. Next. Zilu quickly flipped through the pages. Intro into Denigrative Linguistics. Subheading, the power of words. Sticks and stones may break their bones, so let's add words to the pile. My credentials include the ability to dress down an opponent so hard that they fall to their knees and beg me to stop. I have plans for application as well. The lesson teaches methods pertaining to disguising compliments and criticisms and vice versa. That's actually probably not bad. All of this seems rather difficult to learn. I have concluded from my hitherto observations that Jia Shichun is an individual of great promise in this field. Follow my instructions to a T, and I guarantee you that this cadet shall be able to have the upper hand in any verbal confrontations. Is this a curriculum to make the best brawler or the best family hierarch at? Zilu seems quite interested, but Jia Shichun's vehement veto eventually overruled the suggestion. On Justice, another impressive title. Subheading, Methodologies of Captivating an Entire Room of Preoccupied Audience. Discard. Fie on thee, wherefore? Next. Praxis of ego splitting concerning an inner mirror conflict between the self and the reflection and paradoxic ally. Fractured theory of idealism in which one attempts to open an unopened door to open the door. This is you saying. Utterly incomprehensible. Discard. Perhaps Miss Ryoshi's advice to truncate the lesson's titleship and take it in earnest. Survival and exploration. 21 reasons to pay attention when the exploration team leader is giving advice on the upcoming adventure. Case study for 30 horrible mistakes that occurred because the team was distracted during the leader's lecture. Is this Ishmael? How to track down a troublemaker who tries to sweep trouble under the rug while the team leader isn't looking. Someone ignored my advice that we should have been moving 2 steps ahead. Finally, I've narrowed them down to 3 culprits. Oh wait, I forgot to take that part out. And into the shredder it went. When did that paper shredder even get here? Disappointment. The art of using yawning as a cover for popping a cookie or 2 into your mouth. Especially useful when getting lectured. Hey, if you get good enough at it, you can do it with nuts too. Aha, so it's you who made those crunching crunching noises in our last meeting. What? Nah, do you get me for an amateur? You take me for an amateur. I don't know where I'm getting these words out that don't even exist in a sentence. The art of social maneuvers, how to let it flow through you. How to make things not awkward when you walk right in on someone bad-mouthing you. The most important part of this art is to flash a refreshing smile in a way that looks earnest. It helps when you convince yourself that smiling is what brings good fortune. Probably this is not healthy, you gotta stop. Smiles have a way of disarming people, giving them pause and making them hesitate. Okay, probably not entirely then. I remember that. Big Bro used to use that technique to confuse a lot of Dong Yuan's people who hated him. I see. Well, I can't quite bring myself to throw this into the shredder. Next, how to remain in complete stillness for a week until the next command is received. Oh, this is Marcel. The lesson plan was designed based on Rodion's advice that I must prioritize strengths that are unique to myself. Look, in my defense, I didn't know he considered that to be his unique strength, okay? Let us consider whether standing in complete stillness for a week is a quality one might seek in the family hierarchy. This one is certainly interesting. What separates bravado from bravery? Jack shit, saw it off and grab your weapons. Yep, always gotta read the full print. It's my philosophy that reason didn't necessarily need to be considered before coming to blows. Martial prowess is indeed an indispensable part of the family hierarchy's qualities, but our focus is not on developing a hierarchy of a syndicate. Next, information disparity as a driver of inequitable treatment. Oh, that's actually the most interesting sounding one so far. And the application of engineering frameworks. Okay, it's kind of losing me, but I'm still on board. For systematic resolution in the rational self-interest driven societies. Is it still going? That was 1/5 of the full title. Gosh, he sang and Faust are such nerds. It seems that the same trouble has hindered both you and I. Every word in that title was added for its absolute necessity. Indeed, indeed. After she had gone through the majority of her lesson plans. Finally. Now that that's over. Yes, it's finally my turn. Sinclair sighed with a gravitas to somebody who has just been bestowed the most important mission in his life. Thinking back, even in school, I used to daydream about becoming a teacher myself. I thought I could be good at it. She's going to immediately shred that. So I guess you could say I'm pretty happy to be given an opportunity like this. I call my lesson the theory of self-overcoming. We have to accept that everyone stumbles at first, but by always striving to be a better person than I was yesterday. Hey, but what if who was I yesterday more? That's okay. Everyone has their own unique potential sleeping deep inside. So with everything I've learned and experienced so far, let me teach you how to not doubt your capabilities and always shoot higher. Hold on, you had me for a second there, but what's up with acting like you're an infinitely more enlightened person than I am? Of course, I prepared a speaking class where you can learn how to speak with modesty, too. I never would have imagined Sinclair would be this into it. Yeah, too bad he's so into it that he's not even listening to what Shi-Chun's saying. Following that, your company's, it seems Zilu has completed her review. Oh, I see. Now, how's everything going, everyone? Class prep going well? No, it's absolutely not. Mind curriculum, what most especial. Okay, so that's a no. That was Sod's impression upon taking a quick glance at Don Quixote, who was sobbing and cradling the shredded pieces of her lesson plan in her hands. Well, it wasn't a complete bust, at least. Sinclair's lesson plan survived. Phew, Miss Zigong, Miss Sod, I've prepared a full 30 days worth of lesson plans. Would you like to take a look? But Zigong and Sod were looking at the dozen of lesson plans Sinclair presented so proudly before their eyes. They were looking away. Zigong especially was looking away with an unmistakable expression of pity. So he doesn't know. Would you mind explaining this, Zilu? I could not bring myself to tell him. Apologies. Oh no, it's just that bad. So this young man produced this entire sizable stack of lessons plans all on his own. I see. Weakness has found its way into your heart in the face of such earnest effort. I understand. However, it has been decided that Sinclair will not be participating as one of Jia Shichun's teachers. Or should I call you Pupil Sinclair to be exact? Haha, this gotta be a mistake, right? Isn't Shichun the pupil here? No, there haven't been any mistakes. My lord has specifically instructed that you are to learn from this as well. What? What? Seriously? Oh, this is a cute CGI. Oh man. Oh, CG. It's not CGI. Stupid. This isn't right. Guys, this isn't right. Ah, now this looks like a proper classroom. It would have felt pretty dang empty with just Shi-Chun sitting there all on her own, don't you think? Besides, I bet Sink's the resident expert going on going to school, right? School was a luxury for me, you know? Yeah, maybe, but that doesn't mean I ever wanted to go back to school. Bro, did you even graduate school, though? You should learn to be grateful. I don't dole out my teachings to just anyone. Don't forget, we have to redo the whole lesson plan under their supervision. Otis, you always get on your soapbox and try to lecture everybody about something after every single battle anyway. And you, Ishmael, you always get hyper-fixated on something, and once you find something interesting, you never stop talking about it for 3 hours at least, and I will ensure you receive the best education I can provide, Sinclair. What did he do? Hold on, Yisang, I thought we were the underdog duo. Remember back during the checkup when I said, we got this? We were going to get this together. The evaluation painted a twisted picture of the true scale of strength, the sole measurement of which erroneously filled entirely on physical might. I shall not hesitate to impart knowledge of those who require education. Congratulations, my lady. You have found yourself a desk mate, which some also call a bestie depending on desk placement. Oh, she's actually excited for this. Deskmate? Bestie? What the heck does any of that mean? Huh? Jia Shichun's eyes widened with confusion, as though she just heard those words for the first time in her life. Oh, it's because they probably had private education, so they get like murdered when they were like 3 or something. When I first met her, she was 16. She explained to me that she hadn't attended any school-like institutions. This is par for the course for children of Pongyuan who are raised for the purpose of becoming the next family hierarch. The reason being that schools can be a perfect place to assassinate someone. So desk mates and besties. Sinclair began to explain, seemingly resigned to the fact that he was essentially going back to school for a month, with the other sinners as his teachers. Usually sit next to each other and help one another out. A bestie might nudge the other awake when they doze off, share their homework with one another if one forgot to do theirs. They usually end up being included in the best memories of each other's school time. So not very important at all, huh? I think I got this on my own. I don't need a bestie. She's so smug. It may have come a few years late, but I am moved that my lady has finally has a chance at experiencing school. Same here. I remember it like it was yesterday. Shi-Chun would sit and watch other kids walk to school from a distance, tears welling in her eyes. Dude. Oh, that reminds me. One day, out of nowhere, she started saying something about eating from lunchboxes with friends. I haven't a clue as to how or where she even heard about it, but she snuck into the kitchen here. Wait, don't you guys have lessons plans to write? Come on, hurry up. 30 days are ticking down. We've only got 30 days. Of course. Unfortunately, I've become quite occupied with another task of great importance, assisting Wei with indexing and reviewing various documents that are in critical need of organizing. Thus, I must leave the lesson planning task to you two, Zilu and Miss Sod. Have you any thoughts on this matter? Slacker. What was that? I said nothing. Zilu and Sod appeared to have aged several years overnight, their faces sunken and sallow. Oh my gosh, I'm loving Zilu's little sprite. Finally, after referencing the idiosyncrasies and various statistical data available to us regarding each center, we managed to come up with an appropriate curriculum. She's just dead inside. Miss Zilu, apologies, sleep deprivation has relieved me of clear mind. The path of an educator is truly a grueling one. Marching to battle would be much easier. Haha, still, thanks to Mr. Jia Chu's methodology you shared, we did manage to find a way to make this quite efficient. Efficient, huh? To be a true family hierarch, there are dozens, hundreds of virtues one must understand and master. However, to do so in 30 days, as promised, is an impossible effort. Thus, we have categorized the countless virtues into 3 supercategories. And they are called? Are they actually doing what they promoted in the thing? Where are these supposed to be? Ji, Yong, and Ren. Ji, wisdom. The wise lose neither people nor words. To hold one's silence in need of speech shall cost them people. To speak in need of silence shall cost them words. A reasonable sequence of logic. Yong, courage. The ability to overcome fear. To act decisively. Have too much of it and risk becoming a brute. Have too little and risk becoming a craven. It needs harmony and balance. So how far are we allowing to go with corporal punishment again? I recall no instance of any discussion regarding corporal punishment. And Ren, humanity. It is the benevolence of the heart, the compass of behavior that dictates respect towards every human. Clearly, most of the faculties in the school are severely lacking in all 3 of your criteria. Just how do you think they'll be able to teach the students anything? Yeah, like a certain someone who needs a lesson. Ren. Are you sure I'm in good hands? Just what the heck am I supposed to learn here? Where's Wei? Mr. Wei and Miss Zigong are currently quite preoccupied with handling the monumental task of paperwork. Alright, Mr. Wei wanted me to deliver this message to you. Be strong, my lady. Wei! The betrayal. Oh, shoot. Despite her protestations, man, the 30 days of classes commenced. Okay, morale tip-top. Oh! Alright. Okay. So, my name is Yi Sang, that is all. The class I have prepared for the day. Haha, I've heard plenty about your mirror tech. Which makes me wonder, going by the level of advancement in that technology, couldn't you have approached it from a different angle? You're making it feel bad. You know how technological advancement usually goes. People invent for the sake of creation, only to have their inventions inevitably warped into weapons of destruction. Indeed, you show much promise already. As you surmise now, the mirror has, in the past, almost been employed to shatter possibilities instead of reflecting. I'm sure that's the angle most others would wanted to see happen. Removal of potential risks sounds much more palatable than potential itself to some people after all. Correct again. Yet destruction was a word that bore too much suffering for my heart. My sole egress from it was abandonment of my quondam fellows in my life's work, making myself a fugitive from the past. How did you bring yourself to just abandon it all? I conversed. With who? With myself, that lies within me. As you are aware, the mirror's reflection stands beyond the veils of our own reality. It reflects the potentialities, the latent strength, and the world. Yet even among them, the reflection of the greatest importance is that of the self. Let not the innumerable worlds of the mirror enchant your gaze. First, one must direct their studies inward and reflect upon oneself. I learned how to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror. Okay, I gotta do this 3 times. Okay, I see how it works. Now, if you are prepared, do explain what you see in the mirror. You need a taste. For some reason, Shi-Chun appeared to be hesitant before the mirror. Hey, you know, it's been a while since I looked into the mirror for so long. My lady, do you recall Sunzhen of the Shi family who contacted you for a meeting? Yeah, the guy who said he was going to show me a precious flower that blooms only at night? I remember that you were vehemently against me going out there, so I stayed inside. I wonder what kind of flower. Don't tell me you're actually looking forward to meeting him, my lady. Oh, of course not. You were wise to stay inside. It was revealed that you weren't the only person who was invited, my lady. The vile man had hired a group of assassins to ambush the meeting spot, and would have been waiting there to spring the trap had you gone. But apparently he was outplayed and had his limbs and head torn off as punishment. What a relief, isn't it? I guess. I'm glad it didn't go away. You were right. If only you still had the Wu branch under your control. Stop it. We agreed to move on from that. Remember? We don't have to talk about it. I was brushing my hair and looking in the mirror as we were talking, but I realized that I no longer recognized the girl in the mirror. Oh my gosh, she looks so cute with her hair down. I don't know why, but I just found it so hard to meet her eyes. But I brushed it off because I had to. An experience like that was going to be a common occurrence anyway, and the family hierarchy was always looming on the horizon. Perhaps what you felt then may have been shame. But it is paramount to face oneself nonetheless, nay, especially so if it was. And Sinclair, what do you see? I see, well, I just see myself smiling. I don't see what's so out of the ordinary. But it seemed like Sinclair couldn't really bring himself to face the mirror. Hey, after what we just discussed, I think I understand something now. Now that I've had some quiet time looking at my reflection, I think I uncovered a part of myself I had hidden away for a long time. I had a very precious time in learning to converse with my inner self. Oh my goodness. 6627. Okay. I learned to be more true to myself by looking into the mirror. That's a lot of Ren, so. Class metaphysical approach to ego and reflected world leveled up to expert. I probably have to do this. Okay. 2 Don Quixotes. I hope I'm not overdoing this. Ahem. 'Tis true that a station of teaching is prone to imbue one with a sense of bashfulness. Sinclair and Shi-Chun sat with a bit of apprehension as well, which is understandable given what Saw told them some time before the lesson started. Some time ago. Otis, who'd been glaring daggers at Don Quixote for a good while, finally decided to voice her doubts to Sod. So, what is Don Quixote, that woman, supposed to teach? Have you not considered that her usually flippancy might only cause more trouble than it's worth? You worry too much, Otis. While she may not look it, Don Quixote is extremely well versed in those adventure tales. And why would any of that matter? Have you yourself considered that fixers often appear when history is in the making? She has not. And let us see here. Don Quixote took a second to savor the moment as though she had been preparing her whole life for it, then continued. Amongst the greatest fixers whose honored names were engraved in history, verily, let us commence this lesson with the tale of the fixer Yue Fei. This tale beginneth in the year, sometime later. The cuts her off. Are you done? Just how could she continue to talk at such length? She's been going for ages. Thus cometh the time to test thy dedication to this class and the knowledge that should naturally come with it. A pop quiz, if thou wilt. Wouldn't she even have the time to prepare for this? I can assure thee, 'tis a quiz of entirely reasonable difficulty, if thou hast paid attention in class. Worry thee not. Does this pop quiz have prizes? Aha, but of course, I came prepared for such inquiries. For each correct answer I shall bestow upon thee from the very treasure chest of mine. These precious fixture badges, forsooth, I did not let a single day go by in which I did not polish each and every one of them, on 3 separate occasions at the very least. I don't know, I don't really need them? Hold thine applause, for there is a bonus reward for the victor who by the end of this match carries more badges. Thou shalt attain the role of a protagonist in this theatrical play of my making, Fixer Chronicles, the UFA. 'Tis an opportunity of a lifetime. I'm still not really... It's not doing anything for either of us. It's still a pretty useless reward, but if you're turning this into a competition, I won't lose. Seriously? What, scared you'll lose? Is history your weakness or something? I'll have you know that I was the teacher's pet in every single history class I took. And I'll have you know that I was, no matter the subject, shouted with praise from every master I had. Okay, if that's how you want to play it. I'll have you know that I was a prodigy in other classes too. I did great in art classes, pretty good in math too. I was just being humble because I didn't want to steal your thunder, Shichun. Oh, then let me tell you, I was trained in the mastery of at least 10 different disciplines every single day. And on one of those days, you know what one of my masters told me? He said, looks like Miss Jia Shichun's finally getting a feel for how friendships close in age are forged in school. That's good. No matter how excellent her masters were, there are some experiences you can't learn from teachers. I tick-tocked the response. 'Tis year 505. What is the historical community's consensus on the most illustrious battle that Fixer Yue Fei is said to have partaken in? Allow me to impart thee a major clue, if thou hast paid attention as I discoursed upon the 5 pillages in which Victor Yue Fei was mentioned. This should not be a difficult question to answer. The honorable fixer of the Cerulean Heaven, who attained triumph in the Battle of Rhino Tree in the year 465, has said what was the worst ordeal she had to face in her career. I've got it! It's when she had to forge onward despite watching her dear comrades fall one by one as they held the line to buy her time. Ah, damn it, I was too slow. Bah, young Shichun, thou art incorrect. Honorable fixer of the Cerulean Heaven is recorded to have testified that the worst ordeal in her career was that she was forced to stand before her enemies with hair that was not luscious, as the supply line breakage caused her regular delivery of nutritional supplements to cease. What thou hast suggested, young Shichun, was her 17th most difficult ordeal. She's speaking like she was actually there. Thine impression is quite understandable, for I am trained in the ways of vividly regaling these tales, but most of these are tales I have learned from books. Much did I anticipate an opportunity to regale these tales to such an audience, enough to study the way of minstrels. There was a clear look of pride in her twinkling eyes. Time certainly flies when hearing tales of exciting adventures. That's a lot of Ren we're doing. What was the secret technique Honorable Fixer Lysander employed in his resolution of the case of the Fey Forest? Speak its name in full. I've got it. It's a Summer Night's Fantasia. Aha! Yet I cannot let pass the unmotivated retelling of his super ultimate move. Hardly could one internalize the true noble spirit of fixers by simply reciting it with such apathy. Thou must recreate the exact pose and enunciation. Are you kidding me? Come on, you can do this, Jia. You can do this. This is nothing. Illusions of a midsummer's night shall devour thee whole. I am loving this. And then Sinclair is just defeated. This is great. Summer Night Fantasia. Or Fantasia. Thine enunciation was quite shaky upon the words illusions, yet thou hast demonstrated sufficient courage. Thus I bestow upon thee this badge. I grow tired of this nonsense. Just how much longer you plan to drag this on? Thus muttered the hero, then declared, I shall tear this evil storm asunder and find a place for this blade at the center of thy heart. Dante, lights, left side. Gotcha. Don Quixote, who's watching Sinclair and Jia Shichun's two-person play, silently wiped her tears away. Bravo, bravo! Certain minor details were missed, such as Yue Fei's The Fixer was left-handed, and that he had the habit of playing with a lighter in his left pocket before every duel. Yet, it was a wonderful reenactment indeed. I have no other critique to impart upon thee. When faced with great adversity in thine adventures, rekindle the memory of Yue Fei, the Fixer's final duel. Remember it well. Thus cometh to an end the lessons of today. It was just for a moment, but I think I'm starting to get it. I get why she's so obsessed with Fixers. Clutched tightly in Shichun's hands were the badges Don Quixote had gifted to her. Time certainly flies when hearing the tales of exciting adventures. Well, I'm glad they're having fun. I learned how to be more true to myself by looking in the mirror. Oh, okay, so once you go through the initial, what's it called? The initial interactions, it just goes. Lovely. 60 max HP. Okay, we're going to... Oh, I see. What is the minus here for? +2 and... Oh, it adds morale. I see. I see. We only do faster ones. I guess so. Interesting. Any combos? Let's combine that. Oh, it's plus XP, I see. The purple is morale. Okay. Dang. Don Quixote goes crazy with morale. Boom. This is a component part taken from the structure that forms H-Corp. This may prove to be an opportunity to conduct an in-depth analysis of the nature of the former H-Corp singularity, which has been enduring for such a long time. Huh, you kind of look upbeat today, Miss Faust. It's her time to brag. Indeed, an opportunity to study the old H-Corp singularity is not one that comes often. As there was potential for integration into Mephistopheles, I made a request to disassemble a part of the bus's engine, but was denied. A shame. Aren't you the one who built Mephistopheles, though, Miss Faust? I'm coming to the conclusion that this Faust is homunculus of the real Faust. But I wonder where the real one is, if that's the case, and why the head hasn't, just sniped him. Maybe, they're similar enough, but, the DNA is different enough as well, so it's only in appearance. Could be. I could be wrong, though. Mephistopheles is indeed Faust's work, but not all of it was mine. It is possible that Faust may never reveal every small detail that went into its creation. I would very much enjoy a chance to completely disassemble it, even its engines, so that it can be reassembled with my own hands. Yeah, sure. Oh, I just completely skipped it. Managed to learn various detailed mechanical fundamentals about old H-Corp's technology. I am very convinced that without whatever is going on with the Faust network thing, that our Faust is actually kind of stupid. completely, but only just a bit. Taxidermy geniuses. Okay. That is a crazy boost. So that's how it works. I think I get it. Didn't think this is how I get to learn about the old H-Corp. I don't think I can do much against the Reconstruction days right now, but this knowledge will certainly come in handy when the day comes for me to gradually dismantle that inquisitive thing. The day when Hongyuan can be placed where people can live without fear. Without the fear of encroaching Reconstruction days, without obsessively counting their rooms to see if they'll fall or not, until Hongyuan can be a place where you can sleep with the promise of safe tomorrows. I'm sure you'll pull it off. Oh, and I learned a lot during this lesson too, Miss Faust. Dang. Her thing is gorgeous. Oh my gosh. The vultures must have been set too high, repeating the experience with a different combination of fuses and wires. There's supposed to be a lesson somewhere, right? Class success rate. Oh, Faust is boosting everyone. Okay, Dawn. Oh. Okay, we don't need to mess with Dawn for a minute. So we got Gregor. Let's do that for Dawn. I think I can combo them. And I think we can calm down on Yisang for just a little bit. And I wonder though, what if I... It doesn't say until after. Okay, I see. Unlike some other classes, which we were more on the upbeat side of things. Traumatized war veteran. The room's air felt all grim and solemn as soon as everyone saw what Gregor had written on the chalkboard. On war. Losing a winged war leaves a much larger, longer-lasting impact on some medium-sized enterprise closing up shop. It might be too soon to talk about this, but we all came pretty darn close to one recently, didn't we? We were this close to a large-scale war breaking out right here, which absolutely would have happened if Miss Shi-Chun here failed to finish her ascension. It would have spread like wildfire, too. So my class is going to be about what exactly happens when a war... Oh. The piece of chalk slipped from Gregor's fingers as he went to scribble something on the board. His left hand was trembling as though the room's temperature had plummeted only for him. Man, why has it got it? Excuse me. Miss Zulu, is it okay if I smoke? Go ahead. You good? Well, when else am I going to get a chance to share the realities of war right to a wing chief executive's officer's face, huh? The moment that just don't come off your skin, no matter how hard you scrub at them. Hey, take a break if you need it. I'm going to listen to every word you have to say here today, no matter how long it takes. Man, do I appreciate that sentiment. Well, still, though, I can't dilly-dally with when Miss Shi-Chun's got other stuff to deal with, huh? So let's take a look at how things were at the very beginning of the Wing War. Now I know enough about urban and trench warfare to give an explanation of my own. Okay, we're getting some yawn. We need that. We need yawn and, what's the other one? And that's why the smoke war fronts were mostly characterized by trench warfare. No one wanted to risk fighting in concrete jungles where they could be surrounded by enemies at all times, so everyone tried to draw each other out to an open field, which naturally turned into trench warfare. Of course, every wing has a different singularity, so this isn't really applicable to all cases. It's just that the former G-Corp found flat plains easier to maneuver in. I feel like Dongyuan could make pretty good use of Hongyuan as a defensive fortress, especially with its internal structure constantly shifting around, which the Heisho know and use very well. Exactly. This should explain why they were hesitating outside Dongyuan. Remember the thumb fellas? The ones we met who were going in circles? Not to mention how the Heisho all utilized the topography of Hongyuan differently, even if an outsider were to get a read on how one of the branches maneuver around Hongyuan. As long as the 12 Heisho branches are standing, Hongyuan is unassailable. Well, despite going into all of that, I'm sure we all know what the best answer to all warfare is. Not having war in the first place. I'll be honest, I can't stop thinking about some of the stories you've been telling us. I can't even begin to imagine what it would have been like to not only witness it, but to go through all of it. We did visit your fathoms, brother, but that wasn't even the tip of the iceberg. The city was devoured in smoke, its citizens in madness. He'd always shrug off those stories as ramblings of the past, but during the war he stood at the center of the heartless machine that was the city. Its every gear calibrated to slaughterhouse precision to maximize the death of its people. There he must have witnessed things far worse than the worst the city presently has to offer. His eyes gazed beyond the veil of the bygone past, shaking restlessly in pursuit of what was no more. Oh boy, sorry fellas. I'm afraid I got carried away, lamenting what happened. That I forgot this was supposed to be a class. I'll be sure to press something more useful yet next time. No. Everything you told me really solidified my resolve. This chaos within Hongyuan needs to come to an end soon. Unless something horrible, so horrible, could happen. I'm heading to my next class. Wait for me. Even after the two students had left, Gregor lingered in that room for a while, lighting up a cigarette after cigarette without erasing what he wrote on the chalkboard. Smoke soon filled the room. He left only after almost emptying the entire pack. The emotional whiplash. Oh, get hungry now. Okay. So what combos we got? He's saying that was okay. Let's try to get some more combos. Okay. We'll do Faust again. I want to level them up. How are the classes going, Shiachun? Oh, Lin Dayu's here. I'm not you, big bro. I pay attention in class. Oh, hello, Miss Dayu. Woohoo, she was really insistent on helping me out, even though I refused because she looked preoccupied. The moment I found out about the contents of this lesson plan, I simply could not allow him to do this alone. Looks like it's going to be another serious class. Apologies for the delayed greetings. Dayu of the Lin family formally extends her greetings to the venerable hierarchy. Been a while since I heard that greeting around here. Wait, what about Big Sis Bao Chai? Are you sure it's okay for a Zhu family bodyguard to be here? I am no longer employed as Miss Bao Chai's guard. Wait, don't tell me we got you fired. Everything I did that day, including accompanying you, was under Miss Bao Chai's orders. As for why she no longer needed my services, I don't understand myself. She suddenly let me go after the trouble was over. So, what's there for you to teach me, big bro? Your last lesson planned about not making things awkward got vetoed by Zilu, so. You could have taught me a thing or two if we were still kids, but come on, you spent most of your time stuck in Yi Hongyuan before leaving Hongyuan. I don't know what you could possibly have to teach me. Don't you worry, Shichun. This is the one thing I'm pretty good at. My lesson for Shichun and Sinclair is, in clear, neat handwriting, Honglu wrote "Surviving Hongyuan" on the chalkboard. Oh well, I don't think I need any help in that department from you. Look, I know you had your share of assassination attempts, big bro, but Jiamu, I mean the previous hierarch and Elder's favor sheltered you from the worst of it. She's not wrong. Back when we had our fight our way through a bunch of sweepers, were you also one of the handful who got assassinated? Oh, that, I was wandering the hallway because I felt something was off about my room. Until Dante told us to all go back to our rooms, of course. Wait, it was my fault? You do have some intuition, I'll give you that. Looks like I'm going to have to prove myself. Dayu, would you mind Would you mind preparing the thing? You have my utmost faith, but please, do practice caution. Sometime later, Lin Daiyu appeared with full bore splishing with tea before sprinkling some powder into one of them. What's that? That's powdered wolfbane. Wolfsbane. I see where this is going. You're going to teach me how to tell which one of these bowls contain poison, right? You can stop right now. I learned to recognize infamous poisons like wolfsbane when I was 7. If it was something as tame as what your suggestion, venerable hierarch, I would not have been here to accompany him. Lin Daiyu continued her process, sprinkling wolfsbane powder into 2 more bowls. Honglu, who was watching it with that oddly contented expression, closed his eyes. Please mix them up, Daiyu. Okay, wait, what? We stared in confusion, but we could hardly tell what was going on. With the speed at which Lin Daiyu swapped around the bowls, when we looked back at Honglu, there were 3 silver spoons in his hand. Those silver spoons were custom-made at Dong Yuan's request, and a must-have item for children of the 4 great houses that can detect non-sulfuric poisons as well. Yeah, I know, they're actually... Actually what? It's nothing. Woohoo, in Hongguan, where we are beset by threats of assassination from all directions. Knowledge alone isn't enough to save it. What the heck are you? But Honglu opens his eyes before Jia Shishu can finish her sentence. Then he throws the silver spoons into his hands like throwing pins towards the three of the bowls, and immediately chugs the 4th bowl, which he hadn't thrown the spoon. Holy crap, are you insane? You barely even checked them for. Shiren's newer tea is always delicious, even when cooled. The 3 silver spoons Honglu cast earlier were slowly melting away after quickly becoming tarnished black. Is wolfsbane poison supposed to melt through metal? People like to be thorough with their poisons in Dongyuan. Since everyone's been trained for immunity since childhood, you have to make a mixture of various poisons to have a real effect. Fine, I don't even want to argue. What's your secret? I want to know too. Do they sound different or something? Hey, I just went with my hunch. Just a hunch? How are we supposed to learn that? We're not Heathcliff, you know. You'll get the hang of it after a few tries. I'll help you out. Shall we begin with 2 bowls? I managed to tell the difference between the bowls by reading Honglu and Daiyu's subtle tells. Alright, I don't get a lot of them. I see, when you say you just avoided whatever felt wrong with a hunch, you were reflexively identifying the threat by reading the room and connecting it to you and to your intuitive experiences. Aha, you were using Miss Daiyu's anxious breathing to clue you in. So this is how you managed to survive for so long. Listen carefully, Shu-Chun. I know that the adepts of each Heisha will come to your aid with a flick of your wrist. And I know your residence, Yuan Zhangwu, will be engineered by the best craftsmen to become a safe fortress stocked to the brim with all kinds of useful boluses to protect your life. Even still, there will come a day when you start to feel this creeping sensation whose origins you can't identify, and when it does, I hope you won't brush off that sensation as nothing. You're worrying over nothing. Jia Shichun whipped her away from Honglu as if to express dissatisfaction, but her softened expression told me that she was glad to see him worried. Every 6 days, you'll be subject to midterms prepared by the board of directors, Jia Yuanqing. A palanquin has been prepared to take you to the exam site, and only by passing the test may Jia Shijun retain her status as the family hierarch. My lady. Oh, don't worry yourself over much. Master Wei, you sound like you're at a funeral. She will pass these tests with ease, as long as she has been diligently taking her classes. No, I simply hope I can survive until she returns. Oh, he's being overworked. It seems that Wei's rather funeral voice wasn't just out of his concern for Shi-Jun. Wait, are you sure you're okay? I can't escape them, even in my dreams. The unfinished bundles of paperwork cascading over me like a storm, burying me. Steel yourself, for that was no dream at all. In fact, never have I once seen paperwork trained the arts of airwalking until now. I must be severely sleep deprived. Looks like we're not the only ones going through the ringer. Okay, Faust is leveled up. Alright. Jingang Bolus improves. Slash resist. Alright, let's see. Choose level 50. Tip-top shape. We're fighting somebody. We'll do the midterm. Hey, you're one of the she-boys. We finally meet. I hope to fight you in the family hierarchy war. If you'd run into me, isn't this supposed to be a sparring match? Why does it sound like you have a personal grudge against me? Oh, it's nothing. Nothing at all. Why in the world would I ever hold a grudge against you? The results of the family hierarchy war couldn't be any clearer, and everyone even remotely connected to the mess that has all been dragged away and put under investigation. And hey, guess what? They dragged away half my family, which means more room for me. I should really thank you, right? Honestly, why don't you just declare a war against the Shi family at this point? Wouldn't that be much easier? War is not easy. It never is. What are you on about all of a sudden? It's not something we should be talking so lightly about, even as a joke. Your family was arrested because they are under investigation for treason against Yongyuan. If they're innocent, I'm sure they'll be released soon enough. This guy knows pretty much a given that they'll all be ruled as guilty regardless of what really happened. You know I can't even pay them a visit because we've hidden their cells all over Hongyuan. They're not hidden. All holding cells within Hongyuan have always been designed to move around in very short intervals. You know, that doesn't seem like the kind of design that would lead people to make some unfortunate assumptions, though I'm sure the initial purpose was to prevent escapes. I recently gained a better understanding of Hongyuan's structure, so I'm planning to change our policy so that prisoners still on trial are allowed to have fixed locations. Really? Where do you... I was lucky enough to make take a few excellent classes recently. Managed to reflect upon myself a bit too. Huh, you did change a little. Still, you better not expect me to go easy on you. I got my own things to take care of. Good, come on, let's do this. Many illustrious fixers of the past have said that naught but disparagement awaits unjust victories. Okay, I don't know how this works. Okay, so strong deals 1. It's automatically chaining it for me, thanks. Okay, we're reading all the clashes. Okay. Yeah, well, yes, this makes sense since Dante isn't helping out here. Okay, so we are nerfing his offense level as well. Oh, crud. Oh, we got a skill 3, heck yeah. Okay, so he's weak to some slash. So that helps out a bit. So I gotta be very careful during these classes because I can't control anything here. It's basically just win rated. Oh, bro, he is a freaking. Okay, we just go till he's staggered. That's not too bad. Good for you, you won. Now stop giving me that look and get out of here. You lost most of your clan during the family hierarchy war, didn't you? Yeah, so what? Are you calling me a penniless loser? Yeah, you little. And I'm sure that's what I look like to you too. I don't want your... Sorry, every clan member who died in the evaluation to have died for nothing. If I show weakness, that means I'm making everyone who participated in the evaluation look weak. So I'm going to win. I'm going to win without the fertile soil my predecessors have left behind, because their legacy was unjustly nourished by the blood and tears of Hong Yuan itself. Shi Huazhen, you are tenacious, determined, and strong of will. That must be why everyone stood by you, down to the last man. You knew my name, ma'am? I do. So what do you think? Want to make them sing your name in glory for the remaining history of Hong Yuan? That's actually really good character development. We're getting everybody on our side. Alright. I have no idea who combos with who. Let's see how that works. Heard you managed to come out on top in your first sparring match. Congrats. Thanks. I gotta admit, your classes are definitely coming in handy. I like your attitude. Well, shall we take a look at what I prepared for today? You're teaching about exploring, huh? It's going to be an indoors class? Yep, exploring. Where should I begin? It's a very big subject. Free soloing to the top of the highest building in Hongyuan, surviving 10 days in Hongyuan, back streets with only 3 items. I had plenty of ideas, but most of them got denied. And rightly so. And that's when I realized that exploring isn't always limited to adventures in the physical space. A few weeks ago. So I'm just here to fill in since this game needs a certain number of players, but... Really, can you call this tabletop game an adventure? Oh my god, we're gonna play some knockoff D&D. Yet in games of make-believe, any simulacra can be made as real as, ah, what a move. Oh nice, I'm gonna roll for damage. God, young Ishmael, thou hast absolutely pummeled the Gorgon beast with thy fireball spell, rendering it most crispy. It was a formidable foe. That was wonderfully executed, Miss Ishmael. Huh, really? Well then, as my next move... And that's how you came up with this. I've played a few other games, but this is new for me too. I'm still pretty new in general, I guess. This is called Jianzhu Journeys, or JJ. It's a popular game among Hongyuan's youth. It's gotten generally positive reviews too. Knockoff D&D. What Ishmael so proudly presented before everyone appeared to be a board game with numerous cards and minifigures. Okay, what do these huge pile of papers have to do with exploration? Rule number 1. The most experienced player among those gathered becomes the JM. The JM? Yeah, Journey Master. The Journey Master designs the story around the player's choices, sets the stages for what happens next, and generally helps guide the explorers to safely arrive at their goals. That's why the most experienced player takes the role. Which would be me. Wiz, strength, dex, each character seems to have these things called stats. Oh look, looks like we just have to pick from a set of pre-made characters for this one. So I'm supposed to be playing this character's role. Sinclair and Jia Shichun picked up their cards with confusion clear in their eyes. You arrive at the great city of Yanyun, a place known to be the gathering hub for all kinds of influential people. You traveled here in search of a legendary treasure called, the Tianya sword. The city of Yanyun. Huh. Cool. So why are we looking for that sword again? It's because, so there's this legend in Yanyun about how the sword of... Right, the Tianya sword is the only way to quell the chaos of these lands and bring peace to its people. And also about how having the sword is proof of the true leader of these lands, and so on and so forth, you know? The classic stutter. You can never get past it as a newbie GM, or in this case, JM. Ishmael was stuttering and stammering through the introduction with her usual confidence. I see, this city called Yanyun must be in a lot of trouble too. Seemingly affected by the oddly familiar setting of the story, Jia Shishun nodded solemnly without noticing Ishmael stumbling through the introduction. Well, you know how it is. The point is, you guys need to find that sword. Then I will claim the Tianya sword, no matter what it costs me. Jiashishu nods with determination. Works with Sinclair to come up with creative solutions to all kinds of trials we faced in the adventure. This might actually work well with Don Quixote. From the rumors you've gathered, it seems that the Cajun Keep might have heard of the whereabouts of that sword. What will you do? I walk up to the Cajun Keep, chat him up, and try to gain his trust. They're going to immediately start murder hoboing, I can tell. Are you sure? Remember, your wisdom is extremely low right now, which means that you'll find it hard to form even the simplest sentences. What if I found a different way to gain the Cajun Keep's trust that doesn't involve sweet talking to him? I do have a pretty high strength stat, which should give me access to certain alternative methods of persuasion that doesn't require skill in speechcraft. Murder hobo! Yes! Hold on, I'll try to convince the Cajun Keep. I think I've got a decent chance at this. My wisdom is pretty high. And you pass the check, and the Cajun Keep looks at you, having lowered his guard. Oh, not you, Sinclair. He's pretty wary of you. Okay, then I guess I'll stand in the corner over there, unsheath my weapon, and play around with it for a bit. That's what he expects me to do anyway, isn't it? You're just role-playing Heathcliff now, aren't you? Ahem, the Cajun Keep shares some information about the sword he heard. He explains that the party should seek northeast towards Yinji Mountain. But, what's this? Tears begin to well in the Cajun Keep's eyes as he continues to explain. Apparently, a patrolling guard beat his son pretty badly just for loitering around the guard. The wound is pretty severe, so he needs medicine, but he can't seem to find any. It's a side quest. Oh no! That's too bad, but we got a job to do. Since we have what we came here for, we leave the Kaizen. Well, they say that GMs aren't supposed to interfere with the player's choices, but let's be honest. I would have made the same choice. You can't stop and help out for every little side quest when there's a whole adventure to go through. No, we're not leaving. I'm going to get him that medicine. What? After a few turns of various trials and tribulations for Sinclair, the Cajun Keep's son, who was fortunately able to recover, hears your story and hesitantly shares what he knows. You realize that he's talking about the fairy Yaoguai, guardian of the Tianya sword. He explains that the fairy Yaoguai's power grows under bright moonlight. Hold on, isn't it a full moon right now? Then we should wait until the sky is overcast. Hearing that, the innkeep's son takes a quick look at the clouds, then tells you that it might be raining in about a week. Glad we helped him out. Okay, let's make sure we're prepared before we go. You're going to have to roll 15 higher to hit. I love this. I know, I'm focused. Hey, I rolled a 16! With a final singular strike from Jiashishu, the fairy Yaoguai finally falls to the ground, defeated. Yes, the Tianya sword is ours! Excited, the party runs up to the sword, embedded deep into the earth, and grabs it enthusiastically upon the hilt. With this we can. However, the defeated fairy Yaoguai, whom the party assumed was dead, suddenly jumps to his feet and lunges at Jiashishu, who just pulled the sword from the ground. No! I quickly get between Shishun and the monster. But if that crits, it's going to be pretty deadly, even for you. Let's see. If you can make the evasion, save one and another one. Nope, that's a critical fail. It's okay. Oh, man. Sinclair falls to the ground, bleeding profusely from the gaping wound. The Yaoguai lies still as well, the final vestiges of his strength completely spent. Sinclair! Go on without me. Take that sword and go down to the village. Become the leader they need. That sword as your proof. No, this sword wouldn't mean anything without my adventuring buddy. I'm going to bandage Sinclair up and carry him back. I won't leave him behind to descend the mountain all on my own. This is almost the same as going up Mount Doom, but instead they're going down. Wait, if that's your choice then, yeah, the bleeding stops as soon as you wrap him up. He's just as sturdy, you know? That strike would have killed pretty much anyone, but you know how healthy he is. On your feet, Sinclair. We're getting out of here together. Grab onto my shoulder. That's it, step by step. Hey, Shishun, look over there. Everyone we've helped and saved on our journeys come out to welcome us home. You're right. If it weren't for you, Sinclair, I would have never stopped and talked to every single villager there to hear their troubles. The sword was only a symbol all along. All of our efforts and experiences we gained in our journey for the sword were what taught me how to be a good leader, not the sword itself. You're right. The real success of this adventure was everyone's efforts along the way. I feel like the game overtook the class at some point along the way. Okay, so no combo yet. Okay. I can upgrade to 8 Gregor, so let's do this. And, we'll get Gregor as well, might as well. I'm not getting too many combos. Yong, 18. I do need more Yong. Okay, we got more salt now. He's already an expert? What the heck? Let's try to combine here. In regards to every activity, involvement of unnecessary emotions and personal judgment is to be wasteful. I'm going to need you to elaborate on that. Then I will share an excerpt from Sinclair's exchange with the manager 32 days ago, beginning quote. Huh? 32 days ago? What? Excuse me, Dante. I'm sorry to have to ask you this, but most of us are fatally wounded, so can you please turn the clock just one more time? End quote. Unnecessary interjections weigh down your request. The fact they can mimic people is crazy. Wow, that's pretty bad. Did I really stutter that badly? It is a waste of time to involve emotions when delivering unfavorable news. The same message could have been delivered with merely 2 words. We failed. Let us commence field practice. Do not ask me a single question for the next 5 minutes. Well, okay. Sure, seems easy enough. Suddenly, Mersalt lets out a cry as he clutched his chest and fell to the floor. Are you okay? Mersalt, you okay? His eyes snapped open. Task failed. 5 minutes have not passed. Dude. This is like the most Mersalt characterization I've gotten in like 5 seconds than some of his other things. Aside from the chicken thing. He's been very quiet most of the time. You're cheating. This reminds me of the incident Sinclair had so desperately wished to hide. What? The what who wished to what? Despite your belief that no one would ever find out your secret, there was one person who got to the bottom of the incident. Come on, just what did you see? Failed again. Oh, there's an Ishmael Mersalt's one. Class over. We got some G? Okay, he's pretty good. Oh yeah, this is good for some yawn. This is a good combo. Okay, Honolulu is an expert now. Yes. Combos, let's see. This looks like it'd be for Faust, so Ishmael has some more combos. Okay. Nine to 5. Let's upgrade you, but I wonder if I can get another thing for Ishmael. So for some reason Don Quixote doesn't work. I could try Yi Sang, but... This is so cute. Okay, so that doesn't work. Okay, Otis. Oh, we can pair her with Gregor. And, let's see. Let's actually try all three of these. Let's see if that works. Attention! Today's lesson will cover intelligence acquisition. In other words, men, you will learn how to gain information from people. I just dropped my pen. Where did it go? Be all the way over here. Hey, I'm pretty good at that. You just have to turn them to your side by being generous with my spending, by setting up a good example as a superior, and eventually they'll open up. Foolishness. That is among the worst strategies I've ever had the displeasure of hearing. Do you not see how wasteful it is to spend the limited military budget? How wasteful it is to spend so much precious time trying to butter them over. The most efficient means of obtaining intelligence is torture. God, I love Otis. Torture. I'd say that's the worst strategy I've ever had the displeasure of hearing. I'd rather not waste my clan's strength on something so utterly useless like that. Besides, if you end up accidentally killing them... Foolishness, foolishness. Geez, can you stop saying that word? How simplistic and disappointing. Your imagination falls short, if that is all you can think of when you hear the word torture. Then this unit... this isn't exactly a military unit. Ahem, this Hong Yuan may indeed be beyond your ability to lead. Okay, I can speak now. Well, I'm waiting. Get on with your lesson. The mention of Hong Yuan seemed to put Shishun in a thoughtful mood as she stopped arguing and began focusing on class. The most effective method of torture isn't physical things like waterboarding, electrocution are all inferior. Today you will learn the torture of language. With this method, you'll always find the answer you want. Use speechcraft to entrap their minds, slowly constrict around them, and let them take brief sighs of relief every time they give you an answer. That, cadets, is what you will be learning today. To your position, cadets. Learn some threats and intimidation expressions I could use to frighten the target. They are so happy for all the horror. Ooh, we get some morale from this. And this gives me... Okay. Okay, we got a mandatory class. Hopefully I'm not messing up too badly. Midterm. Let's see how we do. So I hear you've defeated Shi Huazhen. You would do best not to let that get to your head. He's always been our family's greatest shame. Hey, watch yourself. Haven't you learned not to underestimate the family underdogs? What? Oh, you don't know. You see, I managed to talk Shi Huazhen into you know. What? No, it can't be. He cannot have spilled the beans on my parents. Ah, my men are already on their way. But how did you know it was Block 32? I barely managed to get them a hiding spot there. Oh, so it's Block 32. Did you just... I did, huh? That was way easier than it was during class. I've heard stories about how you've changed. I didn't know you had changed into such a heartless woman. Say something, damn it. Don't just stand there completely expressionless, Aunt. Oh, I see. You won't be shaken by silly little things like this. Is that it? That may be fit to see of the hierarch, however. A leader who responds with silence to their inferiors, a leader who considers them only disposable tools is bound to rot. I, Shi Xingjing, refuse to let somebody so unqualified such as yourself retain power. Just gotta keep winning my clashes. Fortunately, not much I can do here. Ah, I can't count it. Man. Okay, so he's healing.
망설이지 않고 한 번.
Okay. Damn it, I was so close. Did you ever really take the time to think about what might happen if Big Sister Yuan Chun actually gained control of Hong Yuan? Sure, it's gonna be all buddy-buddy at first. She's going to acknowledge the authority of the board of directors, butter you up, and compensate you for your efforts. But soon you're going to see people from other nests coming in here and taking up administrative positions under the guise of advisors. And it's the small families and clans that are going to suffer first. And when that time comes, I'll bet you're saying the same thing then. I was so close. It's going to be a while before other members of your family are let go. You know this already. They committed treason thinking that they were piggybacking off of Big Sister Yuan Chun's forces, when in reality she had already discarded them even before it began. She's making sure that nothing about this treason is going to stick to her. Mother, father. Now, let's think about this carefully, about Jia Yuan Chun's vision for Dong Yuan. Will it be more H Corp or Q Corp? I see the point you're making. But you've not given us any reason to trust you either. What guarantee do I have that you won't just toss us aside when we're no longer useful? So about that hiding place you were about to put your parents you just accidentally let slip. I'd known their whereabouts for a while actually. My Heisho had identified their location long ago. But I didn't do anything because there wasn't any evidence that pointed to your parents' involvement. Is that true? Just how low is your opinion of the hierarchy? Big Sister Yuan Chun made a big show of her own influence at the assembly, but I still have a tight control over the Heisho of the family hierarchy. But I thought you were arresting every single member of the Shi family without even questioning. What was it again? The leaders must take good care of those who are in the same boat as them. Why would any hierarch go around arresting innocent people off H Corp left and right, unnecessarily making more enemies for themselves? I sure don't plan on doing that. Alright. Oh heck yeah, we got Ryoshu now. Don't have Sinclair, so there's definitely no way we can do that, so let's see. Combos. Maybe we'll finally get something with Hong Blue. Or maybe. Oh shoot, I forgot about that. So let's try Hong Blue. Let's see. Faust. TKTDWK. Heh. Teaching kids to deal with kids. Heh, she says. Sinclair, you're crazy as a translator. Looks like your manager is not the only one who needs a translator. I would like to teach a particularly bloody art class, but tisk, all that AL black hair discarded my lesson plan. Yeah, no, I don't think your lesson plan would have flown even if Zilu wasn't there, artless or otherwise. In today's class, I'll SYNK if you are a UA. What? But I'll SCAN if you are a UC. She's so confused. I'll snap your neck completely if you're an unruly adult. But I'll soothe, coax, and nurture if you're an unruly child. Did you guys rehearse this or something? Am I getting pranked right now? No, not at all. Just listen carefully. Evaluate the context, and there you have it. There is no context, Sinclair. You're just, like, what's it called? You're just, like, synced up to her. What context was I supposed to evaluate? Let the arts do the talking. FTL, kids. Ah, yeah, there's much to learn. Class is about to begin. Bring the class material, attendant. Yes. Upon the variable hierarch's orders, I have brought a child from the Wang family. Why, Shirin? No, wait, what? You brought a who from a what family? Upon whose orders? Too many travel restrictions here, so I borrowed the rich kid's attendant. You've been bringing her along to get you to places, huh? No, I mean, just what do you mean you brought that kid on my orders? Ryoshi snuffed out her cigarette, opened the window to clear out the smoke, dusted off her clothing a few times, and only then she brought the child into the elevated platform in front of the class. The kid's kinda trembling and anxious looking. I extend my greetings to the venerable hierarch. That kid's scared out of his mind. Memories of childhood are important. They're the experiences that shape your future. Oh my gosh, they really took the cigarette off of her sprite. If, like, the theories are true and Ryoshu actually does have, or used to have a kid, this is going to be extremely tragic. Observe and learn. What's up with you acting all serious all of a sudden? Though I do agree that childhood memories are important. My memories with Big Brother Bayou are what, ahem. Anyways, moving on. You heard nothing. The point is, I think becoming approachable to kids here might help prevent a lot of potential future conflicts. But you got your work cut out for you. Children of Dongyuan are extremely wary of anyone who is not their immediate family. Even worse, you pretty much tricked that kid using my name. He must be terrified, and I imagine his parents must have given him a whole lot of warnings too. Hey, I'll give you a demonstration. Behold. Oh! 50% to all stats gained from class. Sinclair. Omniscient artist viewpoint. Oh my gosh! I know that reference is a reference to Omniscient Reader's viewpoint. I read the entire novel. It is very good and I feel empty and dead inside. So Ren. Oh, it increases for Sinclair. Okay. I'm gonna just... Okay, Sinclair is a little bit behind on some things. Wow, he's really taking a liking to her. Yeah, he wouldn't stop crying when we tried to get him to calm down. Besides, how's she even doing that with her hands? Not even master of martial arts move like that. Ryoshu is practically giving him no time for any other distractions or even a moment to cry. She was taking care of that kid almost effortlessly. She was employing all kinds of tactics, including but not limiting to ventriloquism, Kongju, a traditional Hongyuan toy, fan tricks, sugared fruits, and eventually... Don't pull too hard. The child ended up piggybacking on Ryoshu. The fear he showed earlier was gone without a trace. Man, Ryoshu continues to be my favorite character so far. Never would have imagined Ryoshu would be good at this. Neat. And with the same expression as her usual, and Ryoshu was gently caressing the child. Well, to be more exact, she was giving him a gentle pat. But I think I get it. Showering kids with tasty stuff and gifts isn't the best way to go about it. What's important is helping them understand just what kind of person. Yeah, the kid's really on edge for his age. I'd start to make some progress, but whenever he suspected I was lying or something, he'd immediately go back to being on guard. That's also because he's a Dongyuan kid. Kids don't survive this place for long if they're not quick on the uptake. Venerable Hierarch, may I ask you something? Well, asking's free, but I gotta tell you, it's going to depend on what you're about to ask, whether I can help you or not. Huh? Wrong move, Rookie Hierarch. Why say all that when TWDT? You don't get the immaculacy of succulent abbreviation. Ryoshi grabbed the child's shoulders, brought him before Jia Shishun, and then in her usual curtness spoke precisely 2 words to the confused child. And that seemed to do the trick. Speak, kid. It's my big sis says when the family hierarch war is over, I can finally play tons with friends. But their parents told them to stay inside because it's too dangerous outside. My cousin says you're the biggest and baddest of Hongyuan, venerable hierarch. So I want to ask if you can make Dongyuan safe. I want to play with my friends. Gotcha, I'll review your suggestion positively. She says she'll totally make that happen. Sometime later, after Jiren guided the child out of the classroom, I found Jia Shishun whispering something to herself. You've got a lot on your plate, huh? Dealing with restructuring days is just one of them. I was going to try to improve the safety of this place anyway, whether he asked me to or not. Safe enough for a kid like that to run around the market all on his own, a place where he doesn't have to be afraid to go outside. Okay. Interesting. Okay, I can free combo now. Let's see. That helps, and then morale. I like morale. Let's see. Don't know. That gain. This is not too bad. Oh. That's +1. I'm really liking that one. But the morale is also really good. So they go together, but who else can I do? Try to find all the combos. You know something? Everyone communicates with their eyes even before they talk. So you better pay attention to what their eyes are saying. Great. That's really great. But I don't know. It just kind of feels like an oddly specific subject to be talking about, especially when we're sitting around at a gambling table. Oh my gosh. I don't know. This reminds me of like when you pick up a cat and just hang it by its little shoulders. Like, I don't know how to describe holding it like that, but they look so like disappointed in you. That's what that reminds me of. Sinclair, given the time limit, this just happened to be the fastest and clearest method of demonstrating and training your abilities to control your emotions. I swear, I had no other ulterior motive. I was practically forced to do this, I'm sure. Oh wait, stop blaring at us like that and join us at the table. I'm only briefly visiting my lady to pick up some paperwork, as there is still much work to be done. I'll be leaving in no time. Come on, guy. You know this game needs 4 players. I refuse your invitation. I must say it's ridiculous of you to force my lady to partake in such a base activity, and what audacity to invite me as well. Oh, so you think you don't have a chance, huh? Wow, and here I thought you'd at least be better than me at this game. Fine, I get it. Don't play a game you have a snowball's chance in hell of winning. It's a good philosophy. I subscribe to it. You seriously think your shallow, obvious attempts at goading me into playing this game will work? Huh? What? Sorry, Scrub says what? He's upset now. So Wade joined the table. Alrighty, the lesson's pretty straightforward. You three will work together to ensure that I don't win this game. In other words, make sure I'm not number 1 by the end of it. Well, that seems easy enough. But be warned, I have this special power to read into your minds without hearing even a word out of your mouths. Let me give you a demonstration. Let's see. Ah, Sinclair, I can see the corners of your lips twitching, while your eyes are suspiciously wandering over there. You're looking to form a pang, aren't you? He definitely gave that up now. And she chewing you? And you want this dong tile I've got? Now I know to never ever discard this tile. How'd you know? Honestly, it would have been tougher for us to not know. You can let yourself be anxious, sure, but don't ever let it peek through. The moment somebody smells your weakness, they're going to eat you right up. And wait, you... He's going nuts here. He's super competitive. Using the glint of your glasses to hide your eyes, huh? You, this isn't going to be easy. Your great mistake tonight was allowing me a seat at this table. I already know the ready hand you've got there. Oh, you do? Not bad, but you're just as much of an open book, my guy. You just need that one Zhong tile, don't ya? Sorry, not sorry. You're not getting that tile because it's not there. Gang. Oh my gosh. I see you called gang meld so you can claim the Zhong, which was in the rearmost tile, didn't you? Heh. Does that mean by any chance imply that you somehow know the location of every tile in this game? Nah, no way. I just have the sixth sense for bad vibes. Very well. Never once did I think I would step back into this dark world of shadows, but... very well, I'll be setting this hua aside and... Phew, I'm impressed. They're way too intense, I can hardly get involved. Guys, isn't this supposed to be a class for us? Shoot, my lady, the importance of this moment could not be overstated. I see, swapped out your ready hand, didn't you? What do you think? 3 hua tiles in a row, huh? I see you've got some innate luck too. Very well then, I'll have to wager it all on this wand suit. I won. Hoo. That's a King Yao Jiu hand. Your downfall was written the moment you forced me to discard Zhong. Ah, darn, I lost that, huh? Well played. Did you see that, my lady? He's getting too... the disappointment. I apologize for that vulgar display, my lady. I will bring some tea. Wei Victorious stumbles out of the room while his shoulders slumped. By playing various games of the road yet, I didn't just learn how to hide my expressions. I learned how to hide my gesture tells as well. Okay, Yong. Okay, no combo. Well, I can only combo 2 at a time. These 2. There was a event. So I'm thinking and get to that. I also want some more Yong. So Yong is green. Let's try this. Oh, I got a combo? I wasn't even paying attention. Shall never surrender. Okay, so I got another combo. That restores morale. Not good for stat growth, but this is actually very nice combo. I like that. All stats +1. Okay, I like this combo. I want to get at least 500. Ooh. Skill improved. Upgrade. Oh, that means I upgraded him. Okay, not that he's currently upgrade. Okay, so that definitely helps with morale. So what if we do this and then let's try even that out a bit with I don't know if Honglu will do anything here. I keep forgetting all my combos or things I did last time. Okay, so there is a combo here. I didn't just learn how to hide my feelings. I learned how to make whatever expressions I want. Finally won a round against Rhodia. Okay. What it needs is kindness. Okay, that's a good combo. Lots of Ren and lots of G. I'm liking this a whole lot. I hope my stats are underleveled for this. That'd be disappointing. I heard from Big Bro that you sent your coins to Big Brother Chew. Every hand once in circulation goes round and round until it eventually returns to their original owners. I also heard that some of the Wang family helped with removing the foreign powers from here. Why? I only wanted to prevent this place from getting robbed blind. I live here. You know, this is where my wealth lies. Well then, can I ask for your public support? Oh, I applaud your audacity in thinking someone who just gave you the moon should be asked for the stars as well. Everyone and their mother knows in whose hands the true political power of Hongyuan lies right now. With that in mind, let's say that I do announce my public support for you. I'm not going to have a voice to speak with by the time the powers that are done with me. Look, if Big Sis Yuan Chun genuinely believes that I'm not fit to be the family hierarch, then I'll happily remove myself from power. But she's affiliated with Q Corp. Do you seriously believe that she has Hong Yuan's best interests at heart with all those conspiracies she's been weaving under the surface, all those business deals and clearly skewed policies? I do not. But if you're going to present yourself as the alternative, then you have to be someone concrete enough to rely on. Let me just say that about half of the board of directors' votes may as well be considered abstaining votes. They're keeping their silence because they're afraid Jia Yuanchun's retaliation. So your remaining task is to convert those silent votes in your favor. Oh, not shaken by that at all, huh? I thought you'd just get that lost and wandering look in your eyes. Tisk, I guess I'll have to work on my poker face. No, most people would have failed to pick that up. You've certainly changed since the evaluation. Your growth shows a lot of promise. That's why he handed his coins over to you. Well, I guess that's not the only thing he handed over to you, I suppose. Hongyuan's tomorrow. Anyways, I should probably do as I'm told for now, My cousin will be your opponent today. I won't accept you as my hierarch just yet. Fight me and prove that you're at least better than I am. Only then I'll accept you.
조금씩 아픔. 봉황의 날개처럼. 다른 누구도 아닌 나 자신을 들여다봐야 해.
What, do you have something to say to my face? Yeah, don't give my little brother your crap. Your little brother? You know who I'm talking about. Do you have any idea of the mess you left behind when you yanked that kid away? That buzzcut kid was her little brother? You can barely even hold on to your seat, which you're about to lose anyway. And you have the gall to give him false hope? I know it's all just politics to you, but kids really believe in you, you know? I heard from the kid that you seemed relieved upon hearing what I said. Told me you were happy for once to hear that he had a fun time after being barred from playing with his friends with how things are in Hongguan. Shut up. Besides, it's not all just hot air. What? I wasn't making an empty promise when I said I will change Hongguan to be a place where everyone can live without fear. And for that, I'm going to protect my seat of power, no matter what it takes. You'll fail. Not with you on my side. We all know that Big Sister Yuanqing's Hongguan looks like. It'll be exactly the same in essence, and will be the same for the foreseeable future. Tell me, are you sure you're okay with handing over the same burden we've carried all of our lives to your little siblings? No, of course not. Wang Qisheng left in a hurry, but that look in her eyes told me that there was conflict brewing in her. Okay, we got Heathcliff, and he's good for y'all. Oh, he's already there. So, what would be a good combo? Ah, the polar opposites. That could be good. Let's see. Bata Yang. Got a lot of Ren already. So let's try to get some. Ryoshu. We can try to put her there. Well, I am getting a lot of rent, so let's see. See what Gregor does. Right, lads, listen up. This ain't going to be like them boring old classes you've been sitting through. Why does he have a squeaky hammer? You've got to leave the desk behind once in a while to learn some real-life lessons, yeah? Right, so here's the deal. You want to break their morale before the brawl even begins. Brawl. Learn this by heart and you'll be kicking those twats' arses left, right, and center. That's not exactly what I'm looking for. So Heathcliff, I've got to ask this question. Something about your club seems different today. Looks a lot more colorful, too. Bollocks, lad, catches on quick. That way bloke said something about how swinging around a real club might come off as too threatening and confiscated it. That high-tech weapon cries boop when it hits people. Oh my gosh. I see. I feel like Zilu has one of my favorite designs of a side character. Like, by a lot. Another one of my favorites is definitely the original Don Quixote. There's Bari. And yeah, that's what I can think of off the top of my head. There's probably more, but I can't think of it at the moment. Boy, don't you underestimate me, but just cause I'm holding a different bludgeon. Let's get on with it. Straighten your shoulders, eyes wide open, let's get cranking. With that, Heathcliff triumphantly raised his newfound weapon towards the sky. It made a small boop noise. Learn the art of mad dogging and decisive action. The success rate minus 10% if they're the same thing, but it restores morale. What the heck? Oh no. Shared pain. It's one stat. Okay. Gregor does nothing for that, but looks like he is going to level up at least. Okay, we got some masters here. So let's do this. And then we're going to... Who's another good one? Faust. There should be one more for Don Quixote in that case. At least I assume. But who would it be? I think I already tried. Can't even think. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Okay, so that everyone is here now. How am I gonna do this? I'm thinking of combos, but I am not thinking hard enough. What does that one do it again? Z plus 4. I have no idea what I'm doing. So... what other things did I get from Reversal? Oh, wait. What if I do Reversal and... Ishmael. Okay. Oh, okay, so it's 2 rats. I thought I had something, but guess not. Faust. So maybe another Don Quixote? But, Don Quixote and who? And who? So, I'm trying to think of some synergy, but my brain is not braining. We're on day 20. Let's see. I think I already tried that. I think I already tried that too. Okay, definitely need some. Let's see if that works. And no combo there. What? We got this guy. Ramblings of a drunken Tom. How am I gonna do this? Holy crud. 888. Let's see, I got a bunch of experts. So, oh man, I'm nearly at day 30. Come on. Am I even gonna make this? So, what if... Probably not very efficient, but we'll see. This class, after uncharacteristic pause, Zilu continued, will be taught by a guest lecturer who has been invited for your tutelage. A guest lecturer? I wasn't informed of this. Where are they? I don't know, maybe they're lost. A little bird told me that the venerable hierarch will give me a bottle of top-notch cloudy wine straight from Dong Yuan's brewer. There are any truth to that, folks? That guy. Just stopping by to see if I can leech some liquor at this party. Hong Yuan's an awfully miserly place. But you'd spare a shot of liquor for this poor old drifter, won't you? Bro, you tried to kill us. Well, you're clearly not just any poor old drifter. Are you guys acquainted? He ambushed us in our room after the first round of the family hierarch war was over. He what? The family hierarch war has been over for a while, and everyone in Hongyuan knows who the winner is. How dare a mongrel like you, who only knows how to mooch off of other families, set foot in here? It looks like I'm going to have to give my clan a stern talking to. How could they let slip a drunk assassin like... Haha, I see that's our youthful hierarch is plenty suspicious. I have been a guest in many places, but please, I am no moocher. Put your worries to rest. I'm only a drunkard who enjoys a cool swig of liquor with a scenic landscape as my bar, the sky at my ceiling, and the dirt as my bed. The man who had introduced himself as the night drifter of the Drunken Palm leaped down, landing with dexterity that betrayed the rags he wore as clothing, and the terrible stench of liquor emanating from him. Is he seriously? Bad news, Miss Shi-chun. Apparently Jia Yuan-chun has bestowed upon you a new master. Huh, big sister Yuan-chun? She also wanted us to deliver the message that she was sending a master because, and I quote, I feel a deep sense of trepidation and pity for my dearest little sister, the neophyte hierarch who must be struggling left and right without a proper master. Wow, I'm beside myself with gratitude. So, what, that's supposed to be a teacher? This mysterious guy with a mysterious allegiance who might stab us in the back at any time? As you said, the family hierarch war is over, and even mongrels of Hong Yuan know who has the legitimacy here. The incident during the contest was nothing more than business, a job to take care of in return for that compensation they gave me. I hope you don't carry that grudge in your heart. I'm sure you didn't harm your rivals in the family hierarch war out of personal vendetta, did you? Sometimes business is just business. I killed young Master Bayou, but they promised to pay off my bar tab, and I'm here to give the hierarch a lesson, for they promised to pay off my future tabs. There's nothing to be gained by taking your anger out on a gig worker living hand to mouth like myself, don't you think? Haha. I'll advise that the optics and consequences of rejecting a master sent to us by Jia Yuan-chun herself is not going to look good. You know, it's only going to make me look worse, and I'd rather not give Big Sister Yuan-chun more ammunition to take me down. And you there, we'll have your eyes tracking your every move, so don't do anything that might arouse unnecessary suspicion. Ooh, ain't that a threat? I can hardly taste the wine before such hostility. Despite Sod's dead serious warning, the Night Drifter's response was only a hearty chortle. Before I begin the lesson, I'd like to get an idea from where my 2B pupils are. Now give me a demonstration, if you will. Swing away. Aha, that's enough. But I was just getting started. Your form is flawed and your breathing is hollow. Need I see more? Tisk tisk, flawed forms oft invite flawed hearts. In other words, your martial prowess is amateurish. What the heck, is this guy serious? I've never had a single master who had anything bad to say about my form. Your arms are straight and your legs supported, your stance are solid and sturdy indeed. Most masters would not bother themselves to find fault there. But let me pose this question. Are you, my venerable pupil, satisfied with the martial arts that are made to dispatch unskilled peasants and no more? Huh? There's more to this than raw strength. Now take a swing at me instead. Alright, you asked for it. Jia Shishun takes a powerful swing at the Night Drifter. Your mind outpaces your body, your intent more transparent than a glass robe. And your edge is dull, for it has very little heart for feints. But he deftly weaves his way between your strikes, which fail to even touch the tip of his ragged cloak. You are far too eager to strike, focused singularly on your opponent, with force distributed unevenly across your body. So you will fail to cut, and gain a little hole as comeuppance. Then the Night Drifter pokes Jia Shishun's back with the twig. Everyone vying for the seat of the family hierarch has to go through it eventually. The first kill. Some say the earlier, the better. Mine was when I was 13. Not too early, not too late, just right. It's already been a few years since my foolish brother's locked himself in his chamber. Last I heard, he was bedridden for a week after ingesting some poison someone had sent him to prank him. I'm not gonna live like that, dumbass. Try to relax your body, would you? You have a weapon, yes, but one mustn't singularly focus on the opponent. You try to reflect upon yourself and relax. Let the unnecessary strength go. Let it flow out of your body. Tensing up as you do will naturally shrink your mind and narrow your vision. Hey, wait, should I send Big Bro a silver spoon or something? It wasn't that bad this time, but what if they give him a way worse poison next time? You know, young Master Bayou won't accept your gift, my lady. I doubt he's even seeking the culprit now. So stupid. Zero interest in anything practical. Zero ambition. What a silly, pathetic attitude to have. Just how... But, my lady, it wasn't practically practicality that guided you when you chose to save my life over maintaining your control over the Wu branch. Some seek the state of Anada, the non-self, but what they seek is the path of Ashura, reserved for the likes of blade fiends. You must learn to let go of everything except for self. What kind of life is it to live without stepping over others? Let it all go, the gazes, the pressures, all of it. Instead, face yourself and only yourself. And feel how light it all becomes. After some thought, Shi-Chin's form visibly relaxes. It wasn't just her form that relaxed. Her pursed lips seems to have found peace as well. Heh, she's got it. Well then, what should we do about you, my overconfident, proud pupil? Will you maintain your grave and cocky silence? I wasn't being cocky. If my memories haven't failed me yet, you were one of young Master Bayou's underlings, correct? Underling, yeah. However you want to call it, I guess. Sinclair replied with a resigned sigh. Just why do you think it was you, specifically you among his 12 underlings, were chosen to take this class alongside the young hierarch? Sinclair momentarily flashed a flustered expression, taken off guard by the stranger's sudden, pointed question, but he soon regained his composure and replied, well, who else besides me would ever go along with these lesson plans? Don Quixote's going to ditch the class out of boredom. Same goes for Rhodia, and Oz will try to take over the classes, not to mention what it'll be like to have Heathcliff here and... Haha, such a loquacious list of excuses. Struck a nerve, did I? How come you know so little about yourself, even less than what I have already learned about you? What are you talking about? A bird that has failed to break its shell in time will rot within its confines. I still don't understand what you're talking about. Even as he said so, Sinclair's expression seemed to more like anxiety than confusion to me. Prepare yourself to flit away before the rain. You won't get another chance should you miss the opportunity. Then the night grifter giggled flippantly, and then suddenly serious attitude nowhere to be seen. It's been a while since I let myself babble on for this long. I suppose I can credit my foolish pupils for that. Prepare to swing away. Oh, it's a combo there. All stats +1. I meditate to empty everything except for the self. I'm still getting there, but I think I've got an idea. Okay. Lots of that. Okay. So, what if we do that? And, that takes up a lot of morale. So let's grab... or salt. Huge success in class. Okay. Oh, heck yeah. Okay. Okay, there's our morale. Don Quixote there. I like this combo a whole lot. Huge success in next class. Oh, Ryoshu and oh, this is not bad. Day 24. Okay, I can still get higher, but I want to get everybody to master. This might be an issue, though. Oh, he's back. Damn, am I glad I got my head screwed back on. It's a precious sight to watch everyone all freaking about this child's play. All the missed news I've been hearing since I opened my eyes in the recovery room sound very enticing. I really wish I was there to watch it all. Half the family heads getting arrested for treason. The seat of the family hierarch going to some inexperienced kid from the Gia family. Not to mention how my lovely little sister had her engagement called off. and how she's now been branded as a traitor to her own blood. All the entertainment in this world seems to have happened during my little nap, don't you think? You didn't even show your face at the regular assembly, so I doubt you'd have any concern for the future of Hong Yuan. So just what are you doing here? I just thought I'd had some fun.
최고의 방책은 전쟁이 일어나지 않게 하는 것.
Alright, just gotta lower his morale, get up.
꽃처럼
Sandy up.
화려하면 바람처럼 가볍지만 벌처럼 날카롭게.
Ah, that 5%.
봉황의 날개처럼
Get him.
전부 보인다고. 그 해결사의 역경을 비우면 지도자라면 동료를 포기하지 않아. 더 이상 두렵지 않아.
Why stop now? Decapitate me like my last death, or stab me in the heart, cut my limbs to ribbons. Listen, this duel's just a spar, okay? We don't have to kill each other for this to end. Now isn't that frustrating? You have the opportunity of a lifetime right before your eyes, and you're too weak to use it. You have everyone who fights you on every step of your way coming to you, practically presenting their heads on a silver platter, and you're just going to let them slink away with these scratches? Get your act together. Family hierarch war's over, and I'm not going to kill someone just because they're being a bit uncooperative. Get real, do you have any idea how long it'll take for you to gain even a morsel of power by playing this fool's game? Hey, want to hear a little tip on how you can firmly establish your position as the family hierarch? Kill me in the most horrible, painful, hideous way you can imagine. And hang my corpse by the entrance of that assembly hall over there. Use me to send a clear message. And station every single one of your Heisho packs between every pillar at the assembly hall. And if anyone dares to speak out against you, chop off their head before they can even get another word out. 5 days, and it'll only take 5 days before everyone starts eating out of your hand. And that's how you establish yourself as a hierarch. Fear is power. No, I don't want to do that anymore. I'm here to make Hong Yuan a place where its people can live without fear. I thought you of all people might understand. I remember how you used to hate hurting people, more so than everyone else. Man, what a boring answer. That was duller than even my dullest expectations. It'll only take a few years until you break, until you become just like them. Just like the family hierarchs of the past, who couldn't help but ruthlessly weed out any seeds of resistance. Just how many people here do you think still have any grip on their sanity? Maybe I'm only a few years away from becoming an idiot, shuffling aimlessly around Dongyuan. I can only hope that I won't be a slobbering mess by the time that happens. If something entertaining is going to happen, I can only hope that it happens while I'm still sane. Shui Pan sauntered away, but Jia Shishin found it difficult to move on. Excellent work, my lady. You have passed the 4th exam with flying colors. You've certainly crushed them for underestimating you. I am... Oh, she got a new sprite. She's crossing her arms. My lady? Jia Shishin seemed deeply engrossed in thought. What do you mean her morale's awful? Rest? Oh god. Oh. My lady seems to be in a particular mood today. It's all useless, isn't it? Shishichun? When these classes end and you guys all leave, I guess I'll be spending my days worried to death that an assassin could pop up out of nowhere and kill me at any moment. Consumed by so much paranoia and worry, I'll start twitching at shadows cast from lamplights. So would it mean anything for me to, prove to them I deserve to be the family hierarch? I spent my whole life trying to prove to everyone that I have the will and determination to become the family hierarch. And now I have to prove to everyone that I deserve to keep it. To those bastards who only thought it in their empty heads is how they can expand their runes. Mr. Wei, have you ever heard of playing hooky before? Playing hooky, is it a euphemism for eliminating your enemies? Well, I've rarely done it back when I was in school, but when there's too much going on in your head, you just skip school and go out to play. Oh, I've only done it once myself, after a friend talked me into it. I agree. It seems that the time for my lady to clear her head has come. Very well, let us play. Just one hooky. What are you guys doing? Come on, let's get moving. I gotta prove myself, don't I? I gotta have those bastards' approval, don't I? She's in a really bad mood today, huh? My lady, have you visited the backyard of the Lucia Hermitage as of late? No, but I know what happened there. They threw in a few dead bodies from the massacre a decade ago, turned the pond foul, and decided to bury the whole thing. Indeed they did. The stench was so overwhelmingly toxic that corpses of animals and plants could be seen floating on its surface, eventually turning the pond into a festering black bog. People passing by had to plug their noses or risk passing out. So why even bring something awful like that? It seems that a tree had taken root there, my lady, amidst all that rot. I'm losing my marbles. A willow. The willow tree reached deep into the pond with its roots, clearing it of the foul grease, cleansing the water. And one day we found it clear and glittering, thriving with other aquatic plants growing within. It's recovered from the rot, becoming a normal clear pond surrounded by leaves and moss. Some months ago, they introduced a few carps in there, and when they checked again, they were just as vivacious as they were on their first day there. Would you like to pay the pond a visit, if it's all right with you? Chun didn't seem to buy his explanation, but she followed him in. You weren't kidding. I avoided this place for so long. He's so, stressed. They're both red back here. It matches so well. I never thought it could be this clean again. This is so cute. I love it. I can hardly believe that this pond used to be a rotten bog. All that happened was that this tree happened to take root here. What matters, my lady, is patience and determination. Of course, this place has slipped my mind then, as I was quite swamped with work, but the world has a stronger capacity to heal itself than one might imagine. Recovery will follow as long as there is a steady root to rally along. After a long break that seemed to freshen even our hearts. Nice, you're making good progress. Your form, the light in your eyes, I think you've certainly improved all aspects. I dare say you've had some change of heart, too. Yeah, I do feel a tad more comfortable than I did before. So I didn't need that. Man, what a waste of a lesson.